9 months to look further into regulations and how to handle the growth and demand.
I know this whole area is just going to expand more and more and more, but the last thing I would really want more over there is business.
Now, earlier today, I was speaking with one of the spokeswomen with the city of Cape Coral, and she was explaining to me that even though tomorrow is the second and final public hearing, it doesn't mean a vote of approval will happen. Now, of course, Fox 4 will continue to follow this and will update you as we learn more. Live from the Cape, Brianna Brownlee, Fox 4.
Brianna, thank you. And new tonight, we are learning more about the student arrested for threatening a mass shooting at Florida Gulf Coast University. Appears to have unintentionally turned himself in. An arrest report from University Police says 25-year-old Wesley Huffman walked into the FGCU Police Department last Wednesday, hours after posting threats to Twitter. But it wasn't to turn himself in, they tell us. He told officers he wanted to make a police report about people possibly taping and listening to his conversations. He met with detectives and later admitted to making those threats online. The report says Huffman told detectives he did it because he felt agitated that morning and wanted to get people to listen to him, but that he never meant to carry out that threat. Huffman was charged with written threats to conduct a mass shooting and bonded out of jail last week.
The Florida Highway Patrol says someone has come forward saying that they were possibly involved in that deadly hit and run crash on US 41 in North Fort Myers yesterday on Cleveland that killed a pedestrian. Last night at 10, we first reported troopers thought that the truck that they thought was involved in this, they'd found it, that it killed a 61-year-old man from Cape Coral at the end of the Caloosahatchee Bridge. As they say, this 2016 blue Chevy Silverado was seen at a Cape Coral home with damage to the front headlight. Troopers say someone did come forward, identifying themselves as possibly being involved.
It's all in our investigation. We were just made aware of this yesterday morning, and that is why if you're involved in a crash, it is so important, and it's the law, for you to stay on scene.
Investigators say charges are still pending for that suspected driver.
Do you have any information that can help? FHP is still searching for the driver of an SUV involved in another deadly hit and run, this one in Lehigh Acres during the weekend. They say it happened on Lee Boulevard. We're giving you an idea here of that, east of Sunshine, around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. Investigators say a 24-year-old man on a motorcycle hit an 83-year-old man crossing Lee Boulevard. Then they say a copper-colored Kia Sportage, like the one here on your screen, hit the pedestrian again, but then drove off. FHP says the pedestrian died on scene and the motorcyclist is in the hospital with critical injuries. If you have any information on this crash, you are asked to contact the Florida Highway Patrol or Crime Stoppers. Also, a 40-acre wildfire in Collier County is now 90% contained tonight. This is video from earlier today on I-75 right near mile marker 98 in Naples. The Florida Forest Service is still trying to figure out how it started there in Picayune Forest.
And Fox 4 certified meteorologist Katie Walls also notes the recent rainfall has definitely helped to dampen that threat for wildfires, but we're definitely not in the clear.
So let's check in with Fox 4 certified meteorologist Katie Walls. Katie, what are you seeing right now when it comes to those conditions?
So a couple of the different factors that we look at the humidity, we look at those wind speeds. And I'm telling you, had we not had the several inches of rainfall that we experienced here in the last 72 hours, winds like this today, the humidity that we had today at just 25%, we would have absolutely seen more wildfires here across Southwest Florida. These were some of those peak gusts this afternoon, hitting 27 miles per hour in Punta Gorda, 25 miles per hour in Fort Myers, and 20 miles per hour for Naples. So just to put in perspective, we have not seen blue on our drought index map here for months. So with the recent rainfall, we are seeing huge improvements here across Collier, Hendry, and Glades. We're no longer the driest part of the state. That really goes to show just how much this rainfall here over the last 3 days has benefited the area. Coming up, we'll talk more about just how much rainfall you might have received in your neighborhood and when we could see our next chance for rain here in the next few days.
Much. Today we learned more about this crash in Lee County. It happened on I-75, and as you can see here, it involved a school bus. This is a look, of course, from earlier today, right near Luckett Road West, just after 3 o'clock. School officials tell us a semi actually pulled out in front of the school bus, causing it to crash. They say 43 students were on board. 3 students did suffer minor injuries.
Now off to an update in Cape Coral. We're learning at least one of the businesses that flooded out at a plaza off of Nicholas Parkway and Pine Island does plan to reopen tomorrow. But take a look at this video from the water. Islandside Animal Hospital says the plaza has officially passed the city electrical inspection and is cleared to open back up. The businesses in this shopping area were closed today after the water started pouring into the building from that rain early Monday morning, leaving several inches of water on the ground as standing water. The city building inspector says clogged gutters caused the flooding.
Heads up for those of you in Lee County, the utilities customers there, you might start to notice a change in the taste, smell, and even the color of your water. But officials say it is still safe to drink. They say it's a temporary result of changes that they're making to their disinfecting process. The new process will take place from May 1st to May 21st.
We were a little stunned because the company has ignored us for 3 months.
When you call your insurance company, half of the time you can't get in touch with your adjuster.
So many of you I know relate to that, and that was the feeling among so many Southwest Floridians we spoke to before visiting the Insurance Village in Fort Myers Beach. It was held at the Diamond Head Resort, and Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Petronas and dozens of insurance companies were there today to help settle outstanding claims after Ian and even write a check on the spot. Now, the last Insurance Village is tomorrow in Punta Gorda at the Charlotte County Event Center from 9 to 5. They say you want to make sure you bring a driver's license, your insurance information, and any documents you think you might need. And to see if your insurance company will be there, we've got that information for you on our website, fox4now.com.
Off to Naples, as the city is taking the early steps to rebuild the Naples Pier, and they want more opinions on how to do this. A recent city survey shows that there is a push for a certain design. Nearly 40% of the more than 10,000 people surveyed, quite a large number, said the most important component of the Naples Pier was its historic design and value.
To bring it back to the way it was, I really think that would be great. Especially this is old Naples down here, so to keep it like that I think would be best.
So some of the other elements that people said that they would like to see include fishing spots, underwater wildlife cameras, and also separate scenic outlook areas. City leaders say a design consultant will take all of this into the final idea. The city is set to vote on a contract with the consultant tomorrow.
And Chris, keeping an eye on rebuilding, Lee County commissioners are discussing what the future of the Little Pine Island Bridge could look like after Hurricane Ian. The bridge, of course, was inaccessible after the storm because parts of the foundation and seawall were washed out. The county commissioners are looking at two options. Here they are. Option A would keep the bridge and add new seawalls. This would take about 6 months and is the most cost-effective with a $4.3 million price tag. Then there's option B, which would replace the bridge and seawalls. This would cost more than $7 million. Construction would take